By the way, don't wash your car with the key fob in your pocket, because every time you put the water near the handles, it closes, and every time you put it near it, it opens it. So it turns out to be a real pain in the neck, going on and off, locking, unlocking, unlocking, locking, unlocking. So remind to self, don't have the key fob in your pocket when you're washing your car. Wow, that's where the battery is, a 12-volt battery. So what is that? Is that the electric motor? I mean, what is this behind that?
All the electrical components and everything. No, I think that's for the front battery.
I don't think anybody's ever seen inside of this thing, ever. I'm sorry, but this is cool. Yeah, no. This is really cool.
Joetecktips, he's the man with the plan, guiding us through the digital land.
Hey guys, this is Joeteck from Joetecktips. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and today we are going to do a just about 10,000 mile review of the 2023 Mercedes Benz EQE 350 SUV. Now we're just gonna do a little drive, and I'm going to just go over the basic features of this vehicle and give you just about a 10,000 mile review. I've had this car since December of 2023, and I have literally 9,800 miles on it. I've had it for just about a year and a half. I've had this vehicle for, and I absolutely love it. It's 100% electric. It has, by default, a 288 horsepower and 567 pounds of torque. Okay, so this thing is essentially a low horsepower, shit tons of torque beast. All right, it's very luxurious vehicle on the inside. For an EQE 350, they did not skimp on the quality. You don't even hear it if you're listening, right? It's like the accents of this vehicle are insanely beautiful. LED lighting throughout the entire cabin. Every possible location for an LED placement, they placed. You could change it to anything you like. It's unbelievable. And then if you want to do monochrome, single color, this is blue. That's kind of a yellowish orange. Let's go to yellow. Let's go to 100% red. And the seats are accented too. It's not just the dashboard. By your feet, the handles, the seats, the back of the car, up top here around the sunroof controls are. It's just really snazzy. I mean, this is what you buy the car for as well. It's just very, very elegant, very beautiful. It's just unbelievable. I'm just trying to show you what this thing is all about. I mean, it makes you feel part of the vehicle, included in the ambiance of luxury all the time. Nighttime is the best time for this car. This Mercedes has the Burmester 15 speaker 710 watt 3D DSP sound, meaning that if there's any inside cabin noise or outside cabin noise or anything, it will adjust the volume automatically. There are 15 speakers throughout this car. There's one of them. There's another one up here, and it's duplicated on the other side. Subwoofer is in the center front console. Another speaker on the right side. Another speaker on the left. And then there's two in the rear. One there and one here. So it's kind of bizarre. Where are the other ones? There's a total of 15. I can't find the other ones. Here is the seat controls. Lock and unlock. And exit the vehicle. If you notice, they're all in the same swoosh configuration, making it look elegant and slick. These are memories for the seat location, up to 3. Press M, and then the desired position. You have ventilated seats and heated seats. This also turns on the heated steering wheel. The controls for the windows are here, as well as your mirror. Your mirror controls are here as well. Then you have anti-roll down the windows in the back to prevent children from rolling down the windows. These are 2 speeds, half pull, full pull, normal speed, full speed. Down below is to release your trunk and also put it back down remotely. Illuminated Mercedes Benz sills. All season 255 45 R20, all season mud and slow all around the vehicle. It has a 90.6 kilowatt hour battery. A typical 9600 kilowatt, or just about 10,000 watt kilowatt hour charger. Just think about it, like every 10% is about an hour. All right, so if you have solar and you drop this down to 50%, you're going to need just about 50 kilowatt hours, so 5 hours to charge from 50%. If you have a 9.6, a little bit over 5 hours, but give or take, because you know it's not fully 50%. I'm sure it thinks it's 49, but it's really 52. So it's a lot of factors involved for charging. However, it does offer a DC charger for up to 170 kilowatt hours. So that's level 3. All right, so you'll have the ability. That little sound that you heard is overspeed warning. So we're going to go over the menu system of this vehicle. We have options here. Okay, we have Mercedes EQ, apps, store, and I said the word Mercedes and it freaked out. Settings, comfort. I didn't touch anything. Comfort, phone, radio, media, next page, off-road, information about the car, and your smartphone, pairing your smartphone. So we go to Mercedes EQ. This tells you your battery status. If I started charging right now, maximum charging limit would be at 26 kilowatt hours. It's not set for eco charging. We can do eco charging, but we don't have that turned on. This gives you information of what it is. Anything with an I next to it will give you more detailed information about what that option is. So eco charging reduces the load of the battery during charging, helps slow down the natural aging process of the battery. I mean, when you own the vehicle, you can go into more detail about that. Charging program home. So now every time I drive close to the house, it has geofencing, and it knows that I'm actually close because I set this as my home charging. I don't have a work location, and I'm not doing standard, so I do home, which is what I have it set for. It lets me know. I mean, here I can actually open the socket flap right from here. Say, for argument's sake, someone else is going to charge it. I'm still in the car doing this, for argument's sake. And And that's pretty much it. I may have to go inside the garage to get rid of this glare here in the video, but maybe this will work. So anyway, I can actually open the flap of the car for the charging. I hit this button and bang, it opens it up. You had to manually close it. But on some of the more advanced cars, like the EQS, you can open and close it, I believe. You could pause charging if you're in the middle of charging, and then HV pre-temp control. Like if you're in the wintertime and you want the battery to be more controlled, you can set it up to automatically change. Like it'll so this does have an antifreeze system, believe it or not. Okay, this is a unique vehicle. I believe they're all done the same way. That allows you to, they all have antifreeze to heat it up, the battery, or cooling to cool it down for optimal battery conditioning. So that's also, I have that turned on because that's very important. You don't want the car to catch fire. All right, so that's charging. You have range. Tells you if you have certain features on in the vehicle and you're limited in terms of driving range, it'll tell you what things you could turn off to increase range by a few miles. This will, if I turn whatever these functions are here, I can add additional 6 miles to my range. By interior, whatever they are, it's going to remove them. I don't know what it's. That's the screen I'm recording. Figures. So. And then it just went up again because I shut it off. But you get the gist of it. So that, and then consumption. This is while driving. So it gives you a consumption graph like this, and how you're driving. And how much watt hours per mile. Like when you accelerate, it uses more watt hours. I was floored when I floored it. And it shows you when it's regenerating. So a negative graph shows regenerating braking. And this is being used. So from start, until now, it used 271.1 watt hours per mile. This is in the 30-minute window. You could do 7.5 minutes, 30 minutes, 90 minutes, 3 hours. All right? And that's this screen. So let's go back. So now we have apps. You have Mercedes Me, which is the app that you use on your phone. All right? And we're not going to go into this because this is a lot of personal information here. So I'm not going to go there. Weather. And now it actually gives you weather, which you already heard. This cool feature is the dash cam. Now this is a cool feature. So you can actually, it's still recording. In the front of this car, there is a camera. Now you can enable this feature in your Mercedes Me app and purchase it for a one-time fee of $200. That's what it is for the EQE 350. I'm not 100% sure if it's available for the same price for other vehicles, but for the EQE 350, it was $200. I purchased it, and now I have a already installed dash camera. I don't have to have something on the windshield and a wire going down and plugged in. It's built into the car. That's a win-win. And I recommend highly getting it because you need it. So we're recording right now, but you can actually go into that and look at previous. It does not record audio. Just remember that. It does not record audio. It's strictly video. I do have another camera in the back that I use just in case for rear-end collision, but that's something I do. I added it. It doesn't bother me. The rear view. There is a 12-volt power port in the rear that I will show you. We'll go through the whole car, and I'll show you all the doodads that this vehicle has. So now we have internet browser. So now you could browse the internet if you needed to do that. Pairs. I believe this is a game. Hang on. Shuffle puck, match 3, quiz. That, more games, and the gallery. So this will actually show all of your pictures you've taken, all the videos that you've done, pretty much everything. Everything will be here, and you can offload it. So just so you know, in the center console, there are 2 USB Type-C, one of which is used, or either one of them can be used for a Type-C thumb drive, which I have, and it records all my videos to that. And that's where it goes. That's where it stores, and you can't use the 2 that are underneath here. They must be inside. Those 2 will not be accepted or even seen by the device for recording video. It must be one of the 2 that are inside of the center console. Anyway, let's continue. If the car's been in a collision, it would actually start taking pictures if it's ever been in a collision. These are false. They were working on headlights of my car, and it triggered it to take pictures. It automatically took pictures on its own while in the air in the shop at Mercedes. So it immediately started taking pictures of the area. But it didn't, because I was getting my headlights worked on. There was water in them, and they were working on them. So, and that's pretty much it. Let's go back. So that's what the gallery is. So now we did this, we did that. So let's go back out of apps, and we have the store. Now this is if you wanted to add an increase. You could also do this on your app as well. So I believe even the EQS has this option where you can actually increase horsepower and torque. So instead of going 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, I believe, 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, you can decrease that and go 0 to 60 in 5 seconds with 60 horsepower increase and torque. But I believe, I'm not 100% sure, I know 288 and 567 is what it comes with. It goes up to 348 horsepower, and I believe almost 700 foot-pounds of torque, which is ridiculous. And this thing just turns into a beast of a rocket ship, more so. Because remember, 6,700 pounds, and it goes 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. That's pretty freaking fast. So that option I did have. I disabled it. I will have it again shortly after. Let's see what else we have. So we have the store, we have settings. So now this is where there are tons of settings in this. It's crazy. So we have speed adjustment, maximum speed permissions, route-based. So this is the sound that you've been hearing. Beep, beep, when I'm passing a certain speed limit on purpose. We have collision avoidance. Well, actually, let's continue with this. Active distance assist distronic. This is essentially dynamic cruise control. It will stop on its own. It's very intelligent. If you do not use your directional, I repeat, if you do not use your directional, the car will fight you to stay into the lane. It'll rip the steering wheel out of your hand if you make a lane change without using your directional. I'll tell you right now, it has done that to me multiple times. And I like, why? And I'm fighting with it. I go, what the hell is this thing doing? It's preventing you from getting into an accident. This has so many safety features, it's not even funny. So, this thing will drive by itself. I set the cruise control, and it just changed lanes by itself. And it makes the sound effect. It starts changing lanes. It goes to the next lane. And it goes to the next lane. It just changes. It just does its own thing. It's not 100% fully self-driving because you need to have your hands on the steering wheel. It does sense your hands on the steering wheel while you're driving. If you do not put your hands on the steering wheel and you're listening to the radio, it'll constantly bark at you to put your hands back on the steering wheel. It can sense it, believe it or not. There are cameras on the front screen that are continuously monitoring for your hand placement. I just want to let you know that. All right, so we have collision avoidance. Now, this thing is, there are more features here. Active lane change assist, active steering assist, downhill speed, DSR. Crazy. Now, collision avoidance. This is pretty wild. So it'll brake by itself. It'll keep you in the lane. Like if you start drifting, it'll pull you over. And active blind spot assist. So when you're at nighttime, it's more obvious that if you're trying to change lanes and there's a vehicle there, the whole door turns red. The entire door turns red, lights up everything red. So you know, like, warning. And then there's the, triangle logo on the mirror also that lights up that tells you that you have something in your blind spot. It will not change lanes. It'll force you to stay in the lane and will not crash into the car next to you. Regardless if you turn the wheel, it'll prevent you from turning the wheel into the other car. It's insane. The safety features of this car is insane. Those are sometimes it gets annoying because you want to change lanes and, like some people might want to cut somebody off. It won't let you do that. You got to turn it off here in order to do that. Let's see. We have assistance, attention assist. Now, this does traffic sign assistance, which I told you. Like if it knows by GPS location on how fast the speed limit is on the road that you're currently on. That's why you hear those noises. Beep, beep, beep. That's what this is. You could turn that off so you don't hear that. Now we have camera, GPS-based activation and open camera cover. The rear logo on the back is where the rear camera resides in this vehicle. It tilts and the camera pops out. I've never done parking assist on this vehicle. However, it has cameras on either side on each mirror and will park this car by itself. It will do it all. You just start it, it'll do its own little thing and it'll park. Supposedly, I've never done it because I like parking myself, but nonetheless. So we're done with the assistance. Then we go to the vehicle options. It just goes on and on and on. Sound experience. So this feature here is really cool. These are the sound effects that the car has. So we have silver waves. Roar pulse and... So those are the 4 options that are equipped in this particular vehicle. There are different options in different cars. Not all have the same. Some may have more, some may have less. This one has silver waves, vivid flux, raw pulse, and serene breeze. And they all have different sound effects on the outside of the car, which is pretty slick. It has sound effects for plugging in, sound effects for unplugging, and sound effects for hitting the eject on the plug. It's just a very audible experience that makes you feel welcomed when you get into this car or exit this car. It's just really cool. So as you can see, inside experience and outside experience, you can turn those features on or off. And then you have creep function. I hit it too fast here. Creep function, type of tires that you're using, so it knows how to set up the 4MATIC controls for the transmission, and car wash mode, which is very important, because if you're going through the car wash, it's not like you can't stick this in neutral, but there's a specific mode that you have to put the car in so it won't freak out and lock up and prevent the car from going through. So you must set the car wash mode. I've done it. It works well, and it works exactly how it's intended. Okay, so let's continue. So we have the vehicle. So did we actually go out of... Yeah, we did. Okay, the vehicle, driving, comfort. Let's do comfort. So now you can set this vehicle up. So if I shut the power off of this car, the steering wheel moves up out of the way so I can get out. And if you're short or shorter, the seat will move back to the full range, and then so you can get out. So the area for moving out of the vehicle is larger than it is all tight with everything pushed in and closed when ready to drive. Roof roller sun blind. All right, so occupant protection. So this lets you know to make sure that if you have somebody in the back seat, it has sensors on the seats itself, reminds you, do not forget them. Because people have done that. So this reminds you. And also the other option here is a seatbelt adjustment. So as you're driving, the seatbelt is constantly pulling on you and adjusting based off of your position. Some cars don't have that. There's always a tension on it. This one does it electronically. Open and close. Vehicle protection. This will let you know acoustic lock, automatic mirror folding, automatic door lock upon exit. In your app, you can actually unlock and lock your car as well. Remotely. So forget it. The app will let you know you walked away. Doesn't detect the key fob. It'll notify you on the app that, hey, your car is unlocked. Why don't you lock it? And you can lock it remotely. Hit the horn if you wanted to, if you can't find your car, and so on. Dynamic select. This is for sport mode, how you want it to be. So in drive mode, you have sport, comfort, and ESP is in sport mode. And you can request this on startup. I have it turned off because I change it on the fly. And that's pretty much... Okay, let's go to lights. So your headlights on this car are projection. All right, so it projects warning signs out front of your car, letting you know what could happen. If you're changing lanes without your signal, it'll display something on the front, on the ground while you're driving, and let you know. The headlights steer with the car as well. What else? You could turn on and off daytime running lights. You have welcome and farewell projections, meaning it actually projects. We'll show this all at night. It's really sick. It actually projects designs. I'm trying to think what else. High beams on this car are pretty slick. So they're kind of projection. So when you have the ability to actually project high beams, it'll actually go out like this. And then when it's done, it closes and shuts off. It's not on or off. It's a gradual high beam turn on and a gradual high beam turn off. It's those little silly little things that make the car what it is between a Nissan and a Mercedes. They're two different things. You know what I mean? They add these extra levels of stupidity, I guess. Or
I'm sorry.
I said Mercedes. Gotta stop doing that. It triggers her. The car's still on. So we're sitting here using energy, which is fine. So anyway, let's continue. So that's the digital light, interior, exterior lighting. So you have projections that go down and show a Mercedes Benz logo on the ground on either side. That's like, some will just have a light. So you can illuminate the star. So this shows, locator lighting, illuminated Mercedes star, interior light delay, exit light delay. So these are all features for the lighting. Then you have ambient lighting, which is on, let's see. This is on the interior of the car, which I mentioned earlier. This is the active one with the lightning bolt on it. It does different things as you drive. We'll show all this stuff at night. It's really, really cool. And then you have other lighting options here for multicolor. Then you have monochrome, which is one color for the entire car. And again, I will show you all of this later because it's really cool. It's really cool. One of the coolest features of this car is the lighting in this car. It's just so nice. Everywhere you can think of, there's lights, LED lighting of any sort of color you can think of, and it makes the car. So you can kind of see. So the seat here, if you can carefully look, there's a white line that lights up. So anything, there's the door on the side here around the entire front dashboard is all lights up. The door jambs, everything. So we got that done. We go to system. Now you have voice assist. You can actually turn off the Hey Mercedes function. Turn that off. And you can just hit the button on the steering wheel instead. We could do that. I like being hands-free. That's kind of cool. Online voice control. That's activated. Proactivity. Profile activation. I only have one profile on here, and my fingerprint is set to accept my fingerprint to start the car, to activate the dash cam and all the functions of it. You can log on as guest, but that's the other thing. Suggestions. You receive suggestions for applications and submenus. Display. You can turn on and off certain displays and how you want the screen to look. There's so many options. It's crazy. Graphical goodies. You could turn that on or off. The graphical goodies are really slick. So during holiday times, like Valentine's Day, it would display flowers and petals and stuff like that on the screen. It's actually pretty cool. It's unique. St. Patty's Day would be green. Those are the graphical goodies it'll greet you during the holiday season. It's kind of nice. Language is obvious. Keyboard and handwriting. You can actually have a keyboard if you want, or you want to use your handwriting for that. And then information. And it gives you an operator's manual is online. You can get that here, and this is all legal information. And that's pretty much it. So this here, if I hit the home button, we have an option of all these different screens that we want to use for the primary screen that we stare at on a regular basis. Okay? So we'll go to the first one. And then you could change the color of this. And it also changes the color on the interior of the vehicle as well. I really rarely are in this screen. This is not one of my favorite screens. So let's bring it back to blue. Let's go to home. Go to sport. This one shows how much battery you're using based on acceleration. It shows you the G-force, the miles an hour, also kilometers. I added that so you have both miles an hour and kilometers. And that's pretty much it. The minimum miles driven, driver capability of the charge that we're currently at, and maximum. All right, let's go to the next screen. So this is the screen I was telling you earlier about how many watt hours per mile, how many miles we've driven, how long we've been driving for. That's since we powered on the car. So I've been in the car for 51 minutes since I started this video review. And there are other options in this screen. From reset, when I purchased the car has 9,808 miles on it. Driven it 396 hours for a total of 25 miles an hour average speed. And 350 watt hours per mile average. Okay. that's the odometer and how many miles I've driven. I forgot to reset it since the last time I charged, so that's inaccurate. There's the GPS location as well. You can have it right on a small little screen, which is great. Tells you where the chargers are also. If you're playing music, you can change here. Attention assist, it's suspended right now because we're not driving. How much consumption I've done since I started. And the range. Minimum, again, here. Maximum there. And how well I'm driving for being eco. I'm not beating the crap out of it. You can see the dots on the right-hand side of how many other menus there are on this screen. That's what that is. All right, so let's hit home. Let's go to navigation. So now you can have navigation here and navigation here at the same time. So if someone's playing with this screen and you need to watch where you're going for GPS purposes, you can fully maximize it here, still showing miles an hour, still showing the speed limit of your current location, and active hands-free and driving, self-driving capabilities are here. Everything is still here. You still got what your range is and your GPS, which is home run. There's no other options in this except for zooming in and zooming out. That's pretty much it. All right, so now we have assistance. So this actually shows you cars, and there should be one driving by. It didn't show up, okay, because we're on an angle. So this shows pretty much vehicles as you're driving, just like Tesla. This shows you vehicles, trucks, all kinds of stuff while you're driving, and it keeps full tabs for driving. It's kind of sick. You don't have to be in this mode for self-driving. It's just another added option. And then we have off-road, which I would never take this vehicle off-road, but it kind of tells you your angle, your pitch of your angle this way for your car. Tells you the percentage of power that we're using. Like if I hit, it's not going to show me because I'm actually parked. So it shows the longitude and latitude of the location where you are, how high we are in elevation. We're 128 feet high, and compass. Very helpful. And another feature that I must go over, which is huge, but we're going to do that shortly, is we're just going to continue with the options. Go to service, and now we can check out the PSI of the tires and the temperatures of each tire. And it tells you the next service day, A2, 309 days, shows everything else as well. You can drive in this mode as well. And that's pretty much it. There's no other options. So let's go back to my favorite screen, which is this one. Now, what I want to show you, and it's very important, I'm going to focus on this. On the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you have a menu system that shows normal recuperation. Now, let me put it in drive so I can actually change this. So we have normal recuperation. If you hit the paddle shifter, which by the way, this vehicle has two of them. One here, it says it's a negative one. And on this side is a positive one. This is normally for shifting like the AMG had. However, in this situation, this is solely used for changing the recuperation of the vehicle. Now, I'm going to really focus on this because I love this feature. So we're in normal recuperation mode, meaning as soon as you let go of the accelerator pedal, it starts to regenerate energy. We can put it in strong mode. There's no other options. That's all there is on the left-hand side. However, sorry for the movement. If we move it one more normal, this is no recuperation, no recuperation at all. And then if we hit one more time, it does intelligent recuperation. Now this is my absolute favorite option, and I recommend anyone who gets an electric Mercedes to use this only. Let me explain. So intelligent recuperation, what that does is that it allows, this does so many things at once. It brakes, it accelerates, if your navigation is turned on, it'll drive. So if you're not looking down and you're, say for argument, and I don't condone this at all, but this is the coolest thing, you could be looking a completely different direction. Completely different direction, looking down at your phone. This will stop the car automatically without you interfering at all. This will also change lanes to avoid a crash. It'll automatically brake 100%. It'll restart all by itself 100%. However, if the speed is going normal, it won't do any recuperating. It'll do zero. It'll only recuperate energy when it see fit. It's not anything else other than that. Let me put it in park. This, my friends, is my favorite, and I recommend it wholeheartedly. But I just wanted to give you a preliminary update of what I think of this car. It does offer a moonroof, and it's controlled on the roof. The roof of the car. There's a bunch of settings and buttons here, lights, you know, Mercedes, me, if you want to call them, something should happen. So you have a panoramic sunroof, and it does open. You do have the ability to open this bad boy up, which is absolutely beautiful. That's the furthest it opens up, and closing it is just as easy. And that's that. And then you can close it. So, but for this purpose, we're going to use more ambient light for the recording of this video. So as you noticed, I'm sure in the last 5 minutes or so that we've been recording, you don't hear the car. You don't hear it at all. It's super quiet. We are in comfort mode, and it is really comfortable driving. You don't have to accelerate rapidly in this vehicle there's no exhaust note, not like the AMG that I reviewed a few days ago or last week. This is substantially different. So this is a luxurious performance vehicle. I'm not really sure how much more to actually say, because it is a very quick car. Remember, this thing weighs 6,700 pounds. So you could definitely, as I would say, as soon as you pass 6,500 pounds, you can write this off as a business expense, because it surpasses the 6,500 pound limit. So every so often you actually hear the thing go bump bump. That means I actually turned on a speed warning. Like if I go above the speed limit 5 miles an hour, it makes that sound. Those are all features that you can add that are not available on the AMG line that I reviewed, but is available in this particular model, the EQE 350, which is pretty much almost bare boned, but it's not. So there are some features of this vehicle that are not available, were not available from purchase. So this thing is a pretty loaded car, considering it doesn't have four-wheel steering, because I don't believe it's available in the EQE. It's only available in the EQS. There's a bigger version of this vehicle, the EQS sedan, which has a 118 kilowatt hour battery, substantially larger, a lot longer range, and it's 28 kilowatt hour larger. That's a big difference. That's a lot of energy. So from 100%, this gets, when you charge it from when you charge it to 100%, it says on the screen about 350 miles. The EPA says 253. However, in the winter months, I actually got 220. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this baby in sport mode, and I'm going to accelerate, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it, because it's actually pretty. And another thing, I mean, I'm going all over the place here because there's so many things to talk about. So we're in sport mode right now, and we're going to get on Nichols Road, and we're going to hit it. You're not going to really hear much, but we're going to hit it anyway. And there we go. We're rapidly flying. And you may have heard some sort of a sound effect in the background. There is an interior cabin sound effect that you can choose. There are 4 of them in this model. There's lots and lots and lots of stuff on this vehicle that are interesting, and you may not know that it actually has. It's essentially a cell phone on wheels. There are options upon options that you don't think you could actually turn on, but you can. And again, I like to thank Mercedes Benz of Smithtown for allowing me to actually, well, I did lease this car, so this one is mine. However, Mercedes Benz of Smithtown is where I got this car from, and they have been extremely helpful in everything that I've done, in terms of service, support, having me review other cars and whatnot. It's been really incredible. Now the AMG, once I spoke about it, that the AMG, you actually watch the gas gauge go down, and essentially you watch the battery level go down in this car as well. It is essentially a gas guzzler in its own right. It is, you literally watch the percentages drop as you drive, and that is essentially like if you had a Lamborghini with a 10-gallon fuel tank and you watch it drop just driving 15 miles. So that's essentially, when I left the house, it was at 100%. It is currently at 98, and we only did, well, I'm talking for 11 minutes. So, well, just about. From start, it starts recording data. Interesting information, very helpful information that could be used. Like, for instance, how many watt hours per mile, which is how these electric vehicles are rated. Like, how many watt hours are used per mile of driving. Now, I've did some preliminary numbers in the past, and if you're going like 70 miles an hour, how many watt hours does the car use? Now, this is important for calculating the range, and that's how it's calculated, the range when you're driving. And right now, because we're going only like 30 miles an hour, we're at 304 watt hours per mile. And it tells me my average miles an hour, which is 27. I've been driving for 13 minutes, and I've traveled 6 miles. So in 6 miles, it went down 2%. So if you think about that, that's really terrible. So every 2% is 6 miles. But then again, I did slam on the accelerator to accelerate really rapidly, and that obviously discharges the battery rather fast. So, because, I mean, not to zero, but I mean, you're hitting it, you're moving a vehicle that's 6,700 pounds from 0 to whatever, from 40 miles an hour to 70 in a matter of seconds. So that's a major hit on battery charge, you know. So just like if you decided to use your cell phone to record video or watch TikTok all day, the battery drops rapidly. Same concept, because you're using the video non-stop, and you're doing, or even play a game on your phone. That's using a lot of energy, a lot more energy at once, quickly, rapidly. Same concept. All right, so we're just about home. and we're going to show you the menu system, which is very important because that's what makes this vehicle. This is a very, I'm telling you right now, it's extremely fun vehicle to drive. It is lackluster in terms of an exhaust note, but then again, it's so quiet in this cabin, you can actually whisper to one another and have a conversation. It's just that quiet in this car, which is insane, which is really, really great. So the menu system, the navigation of this car is great. So as soon as you say the word Mercedes, it asks, how can you help? Let's see. Actually, if you say, hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
What's the weather for today?
Today it will be cloudy in Center Each with temperatures between 57 and 70 degrees.
Now that is something new that Mercedes actually added to their system. It wasn't just functions of the car. It now can answer questions just like if you said, hey Google or hey Siri. My phone just triggered. Hey Google, what's the weather for today?
In Center Each it'll be cloudy with a high of 72 and a low of 59. Right now it's 70 and cloudy.
There you go, same thing. So now the Mercedes can do the same thing. Hey Mercedes,
how may I help you?
did President Trump accept the Qatar jet?
Yes, President Trump has accepted a luxury Boeing jet offered by Qatar. He defended his decision, stating it would be stupid to turn down the offer despite criticism from various sources.
Wow, that I wasn't aware of. So again, you can ask your vehicle questions about anything, and that is a feature that they literally just added to their options. So now the car has full access to the internet and you can ask it anything you like. It's actually very, very cool, actually. I enjoy this car immensely. I've had it for, like I said, just over a year and a half, or just about a year and a half. And it is a very luxurious car. I take care of it as best as I can because it is a lease. And I find I've been looking at other vehicles to replace this, BMW X5, the xDrive 45, 50, or 60. I've looked at the i5, the i4. Just nothing has really tickled my fancy as much as the Mercedes Benz, and I probably will get another one of these because I like being high. Sedan is just this is like an eye-catching vehicle, which is cool. So guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Please like this video. Please share this video. Tell everybody about this video if they're interested in getting a Mercedes or not. And we'll see you next time.
In a world of bytes and bits, where tech can make a strip, there's a guru with a knack for every digital tip. Joeteck's the name, he's the one you'll seek. From gadgets to software, he's the one you'll meet. So if your tech's in a tangle, don't you fear. Joeteck's here, let his advice draw near. With his help, you'll surely find in this digital world peace of mind. Joetecktips, he's the man with the plan, guiding us through the digital land. With his wisdom and his wit, every tech woe will surely fix it.